You gotta enunciate. You learn how to enunciate better by having olives in your mouth, but your mouth is really big, so you should put the whole mic in there.
Perfect. So I learned
Wait,
to
is that
enunciate with
olive?
having...
Is that olives thing true?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, that's like a thing they do.
Why olives?
Why
Fuck
not
if I know.
grapes? Olives are salty.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Well,
Eat-
I
eat
like
some more
olives, but I'm
olives.
just wondering, like, when did they get
Why
all
not
the...
hamsters? Why don't we just put hamsters in our mouth?
Because Mary keeps microwaving them all.
Oh.
You can still put it in your mouth. It's nice and cooked now.
Toasty.
Nice and toasty.
I mean, at least it won't squirm at this point, but...
It's still juicy. It's like a fruit gusher.
Maybe.
Oh.
And that is the beginning intro. Welcome to Honor Gaming Podcast.
Welcome to Honor Gaming Podcast. Today, we are going to be talking about characters and the players who play them.
Today is player responsibilities.
Ah, that's the one.
Yeah, apparently
we're talking about
Galen's
player
drunk and he hasn't even had any beer.
I
That's for
don't
sure.
have any
Fix that.
left. I'm
I
so
was gonna
sad.
buy some.
You were totally gonna buy some.
I was gonna buy some and I didn't have my ID.
Oh,
That
that's
was
what
the entire
happened.
reason.
That is unfortunate.
I thought you just didn't see any that you wanted.
I
So,
just didn't have my ID.
oh, well,
I'm going to have
today
to
is a
reset the
boozeless
podcast.
Honor and Gaming podcast. So we'll see how this goes.
But not
Wait,
necessarily
yeah.
a humorless Honor and Gaming Podcast.
You don't need beer to have fun, kids.
Yes, you do.
Instead,
No,
you
you
drink,
don't.
Instead, you drink hard liquor. I'm sure you have some.
I do have a lot of hard liquor up in my cabinet. So
it
today
take-
I'm with...
Oh, I'm Joe. I am the least gamey person here. I don't play online games. And if you see me online, go fuck yourself, because that's not me. Also, I'm riding this Gravy Train to Nowhere still, because our host and Master Ceremonies has not put it online.
Is this episode number 10? Are we there yet?
No,
Hey,
this is
Joe, have you
episode
missed an episode yet?
809.
Maybe
think you
one.
have.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think you've
Maybe.
been there for everyone.
I have. And I'm still not getting any royalties for all my humor, wit, warmth, and general good character that I bring to this. So
The sheer amount of hair is astronomical.
Thank you. Yes, I mean the hair
I know,
is ever
like,
flowing.
I'm surprised
from-
your conditioner fees just haven't skyrocketed.
They should. You know what? I need at least 2 bottles of conditioner per podcast. Please and thank you.
So, and today we're also with...
Oh, hey, I'm Elizabeth, also known as Jinxie on the internet. Either Jinxie, Queen Jinxie, Miss Jinxie, it's most likely me. And I do all the artsy stuff for the podcast, and I do some online gaming, and I do tabletop gaming. But mostly just kind of, I've been playing a lot of Splatoon.
I'm Ellie. I'm Shellenor online. Except that time where I was Doom Cheese 7 for like 6 years. But yeah, I'm around mostly on Steam and other places. Just other places.
And
Do
today...
not check out doomcheese7.org. It is not an appropriate site.
Yeah, there's
There's
a lot
so
of
much
things.
cheese.
There's a lot of things that your parents will be ashamed of you for.
Swiss cheese is just not naturally like that, man.
It never was.
You know,
And today we have a guest as well. Ellie brought him in.
I did.
Please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Corey again, still often known as Zare33 online. So, hello.
Oh, okay, cool. So, again, today's...
Galen, you're not going to introduce yourself?
Yeah,
You
who
just
the
assume
fuck are
everybody
you?
knows?
I thought I did.
No, you
That was
didn't.
before.
I'm an asshole. I'm
Yeah.
an asshole host. I am your host today.
What if
I
this is
am-
the first podcast? Like, wow, all these people sound cool, except for that one guy who has no name.
Yeah, he
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
what I want to be. The guy in the background.
You have, I don't think you're at the point of Faceless Man, Galen.
Yeah.
Gotta introduce
man.
yourself, and you're
Got to
good.
be the faceless man.
This is the longest intro we've had so far.
It is. It really is.
Because one schmuck is not introducing himself.
And
Well-
he's continuing not to introduce himself. Hey,
Because
Galen,
everyone keeps
why
being
don't you
witty.
introduce yourself?
I'm Colio online, also known as Galen. I'm your host today for the podcast. Now, we are talking about character responsibilities.
Player
we talked
responsibility.
about player responsibilities.
We can cover
Thank
both.
you.
They're kind of...
Yeah,
they're kind of the
there's
same
a little
thing.
bit of both, actually, yeah.
The
One player
characters and the
responsibility
players who play
apparently is
them.
not to listen to the last podcast about DM responsibilities because I didn't finish listening to it. Yay.
Yeah, Ellie missed it for that one.
Yay. I actually wanted to hear it.
I missed it too, don't worry.
You didn't know about it until like 20
Probably-
minutes ago.
Yeah.
No, I was listening to it when I got to his house earlier and paused it because there was dead chickens.
Ah,
Stories. We have lots of stories.
we had lots.
Wait, did I hear that right? There was dead chickens?
There were dead
Yeah,
chickens
yeah.
involved, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a bear killed a bunch of his chickens yesterday.
I'm sorry?
And did not eat them,
Yeah.
so this is totally
Okay.
a bear worth
That's like-
shooting.
There
Yeah.
was like $3,000 worth of chickens.
That is
They
a
have
lot of
overpriced
chickens.
We have really overpriced
It was
chickens.
three chickens. It was 3 chickens.
Just a lot
Okay,
of chickens.
so
Yeah.
the back on topic on character and player responsibilities. So we decided to make it this because we already did DM responsibility, DM talk, and how can we get players to take responsibility in some
Well,
of that?
hold
so it's
on here,
not all
Galen.
of the DM.
Well,
Question:
What's up?
do I even have any
Yeah,
responsibilities as
not
a
a lot
player?
of players realize
Yeah,
they have
do you?
responsibilities.
I know. I mean, my role in the RP is to sit back passively, roll some dice, and have you, as a GM, entertain me completely. Isn't that the only responsibility I have as a player?
No!
Well, no, you also have to go in the corner and play Magic the Gathering with your friends. Yeah.
Oh, don't
Because-
forget to like go be on your phone consistently. at
So
all
these are
times.
all. Well, I already do these things, so I'm
Don't-
golden.
Oh, you have a leg up on everyone then.
Yeah.
'cause-
Perfect.
Don't
Okay.
like. Remember, if you have any miniatures or dice or anything, don't bring them.
Well, no, I would
Just
not
forget
want to do
them
that.
Oh,
yeah.
and don't pay attention until somebody says your name, and then you have to figure out what your strategy is after asking everybody what they already did and what the status of the monster that you possibly might be fighting is. And you have to do all of this while thinking you're in the wrong location.
Oh, by the way, also make sure that your character sheet is completely covered in syrup, specifically syrup, and just leave it in your car.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I ignored all of that because I didn't hear my name
Dude, you're
announced
doing really well.
beforehand.
Oh,
You're doing
you're already
really
on.
well.
You're already on top
Yeah.
of it.
All right, good. So,
What are players' responsibilities? Joe, as the one who has played the longest out of all of us, what would be like the first rule of a responsibility of a player?
Well, back in my day, when we played RPGs, we just showed up and pretended to be characters, and we had a good time. And we rolled some dice, and that was all we had for responsibilities.
Yeah, and then it got mainstream, and then a lot of whiny bitches came in who thought it was like magic.
well, hold on. First of all, don't alienate our whiny bitches that listen to us. Again, Larry, this is you. Get out of your mother's basement.
Wait, do we have more than one listener?
We do actually.
We have at least two. Both of them are whiny bitches.
Is one of them Eric and the other one that one guy?
Wait, weren't you just
Yeah.
listening earlier?
So there's three whiny bitches.
I might be Eric.
Secretly Eric
So-
sitting at the table.
Yeah. So
Your muscles are very pumped
What would-
today, I noticed.
I'm quite proud. I'm actually super bummed. I haven't been able to go to the gym in like 3 fucking weeks. It's too sick.
You'll get there.
So, what would be, because you're the one who plays and DMs a lot of our games, and you've done a lot of character stuff, what would be like the number one rule? What's the gold rule of playing?
Gold rule of playing is actually want to play. I've been in a few games where people don't want to play. Oh, there's this really horrible one. Maybe I showed the story already, but there was
The wife?
Yeah, the wife.
Yep.
So I was gaming with one of my friends, and he invited me to go game with his group down in Sacramento. And we go there, and it's me, the DM, the DM's brother-in-law, and the DM's wife. And the DM's wife was so dead-eyed.
Oh wait, I
And-
think we have a die to like
yeah.
mimic what exactly it sounded like.
Well, yeah, perfect. So, very much, she's sitting there on her Kindle the entire time, and the DM will say something like, "Honey, it's your turn to roll the dice.
What? Roll
Roll your dice, sweetie."
Okay. What am I doing?
Is it the
So
one
you-
with all the sides?
Yes, roll, sweetie, roll your
Wait,
dice.
They all have sides.
Okay,
Which one?
Okay.
And with that deafening clatter of the single die that rolled across the table, my soul was crushed. That's how bad it was. So yeah, if you don't want to be there, don't be there, and it's totally okay. It's a nerd hobby. If you're not nerd, don't do it. It's fine. If you're not enjoying the game that you're in, that's also fine. Just leave. It
Yeah,
is
it's-
okay. People understand these things.
It's more respectful to say, "Hey, I'm not super into it. Is it okay if I bow out?" Because at that point, at least you're being honest.
And I
And it's more if nobody wants to be around someone who doesn't want to be there.
Yeah, and I have plenty of friends that don't do the RPs. I mean, they're not cool like I am, wicca, but they're still good friends.
But it's also you drag down the entire group if you're not interested in playing. Like if you're there dicking off on your phone or literally just staring off into space or ordering pizza or whatever the fuck it is you're doing. It literally just makes it so the rest of the group can't concentrate on what's happening, and it makes it so the entire group can't roleplay at the level they might otherwise play at.
I will make an amendment. Pizza calls are also okay, no matter when and where.
Yes.
DM Joe gets hungry, so he needs a pizza.
It's one thing when you're ordering a pizza, like, you know, at a reasonable rate. It's another thing if you just leave for like half an hour, like like completely unexpectedly, and it's your turn, and you just like.
Our rogue is
Are
gone.
gone.
Oh, he went to go get pizza. Who's going to be scouting for us? Come on, what's going on here?
Okay, Paladin, go scout.
Yeah, go ahead, Paladin.
If you're gonna go get
Clank,
pizza, let
clank,
us know,
clank,
and we'll
clank.
take a break.
Yeah, totally.
And that's the thing too, is if you need to do something, taking breaks are fine. But if you dip
Communicate
out
with
for
your
a little
group.
bit, you know, confer with the group. Don't be like, oh man, I got this hot date I need to go to. Be like, 30 minutes, don't worry, I'm really quick. Yeah, don't be that guy. Eric, yes, that is you, Eric.
I can't believe you'd say
New
that to
guy,
me.
Corey, what are your opinion on the whole?
Yeah, do you have any opinions on that?
I don't think it's too hard to find people who want to be there, but I think one of the problems I've seen is people who want to be there but are too afraid to actually be there. They're just kind of at the table, they don't know what to do, and they never actually do anything. We've had people there who
It's
just
like super
they've
new
got
people.
no
who-
agency. Like, it's generally new people, but then there's some people who just stay like that, and it's just like, have some agency, do
Try new
something
shit.
as a person at the table.
Well, yeah, and there's something we say about it being a little intimidating because you have all these obscure rules and you're
But
playing in
eventually you gotta try new
imagination
shit
land.
and,
Oh
like,
yeah,
actually
Especially
roleplay
gotta try
and
to
stuff.
do.
Yeah. And that's actually can be another player responsibility. If there's somebody new in the group, kind of be open to them and actually actively include them, like I just did with our friend Corey here.
Thank you.
It's usually appreciated because nobody likes feeling left out in something that they don't know what they're doing.
There's also, after the game is done, you can talk to them out of character and like completely separate to find out like what they actually want from the game, what they're role playing for. If they genuinely just enjoy being a rules Nazi, fuck it, they enjoy that. If they were into it for the role playing, hey, let's help them role play more. And there's a lot of things you can do to help them to do that, to like find out what it is that they enjoy about it, what they enjoy playing, and to help them actually get to that level where they are having a better time, because you'll all have a better time.
So now that's true. But then what about the person who, how do you differentiate the person who actually wants to be there but is rolling their dice like dead-eyed to the wife?
You literally have to take them aside outside of the game and just
Yeah.
be like, hey,
Just wanted to tell you
what's
to
going
say
on?
that.
well, it's
Make you to say that.
just kind of common sense. You can tell if somebody's into something or
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
Because
I mean,
generally,
if I'm sitting here,
somebody's
I'm laying back in my chair, mouse away from the mic. I'm not really into the podcast, you know, whatever. Oh, hold on, I got a phone call. Wait. Oh yeah. Hey mom, how's it going?
He's-
No, I'm podcasting. It's
Oh
cool.
man, it's Ezra. That's how it is. Just with his Kindle instead of his iPhone.
So I mean, it's one of those things where you can typically use common sense, see if somebody's interested or
yeah,
not.
there's
And-
body language cues. Like
Yeah.
typically somebody who wants to be there is paying attention to everything, but still looking kind of confused because everything's just going over their head. And someone who doesn't want to be there is kind of looking at their phone. They're just kind of
fucking
dead-eyed.
hate people on their phones. It's like one of my biggest pet peeves, and I feel bad because I will be on my phone for the sake of like I'll keep my spells on certain apps and stuff. And for that, you know, I
Which
have
are
my phone out.
fantastic tools. App spellbooks
Yeah.
are the best.
The problem is, if some of the less experienced people see you on your phone, they think it's cool for them to be on their phone, and they're just looking at memes on Facebook. And you know what? I can't blame them because memes are excellent, and I want to see those memes because those memes are excellent.
And then you derail from
Yeah.
the game.
Yeah, and they were beautiful memes, and they were kind of worth it for a
Like
second.
Ellie derailing from the conversation because
But-
of memes.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
Wow,
Okay,
that's-
so that can
So
actually roll
meta.
into
I'm
another
here.
thing.
I'm
She's
here
so
to meta
meta.
this shit
She's
out.
so meta.
Yeah.
Ellie,
I feel like Ellie derailing because of memes is a meme in of itself.
there we go.
Ooh, that could be. Very well could
So
be.
Ellie,
Yes,
you
that
were
sounds
recently dealing with some players that are subpar on the
They're
engagement
new.
front.
They're very, very
Yeah.
new. They're getting used to it. They don't know what they're doing quite yet. Some of them are more experienced, some of them aren't, and they're figuring their stuff out. And there's a lot of there's a lot of it from several of us trying to coach some of the members into actually role playing different things and just encouraging them to like say what their character is doing. For instance, on Sunday, we had a character who's like, he's trying to get into the role playing, but it's new, so he's having some difficulty.
Yeah.
So he had a spell, and so we asked him what what he does. How does he cast the spell? And he kind of got
I cast a spell.
Pretty much. He got kind of deer in the headlights kind of thing. So we brought up a bunch of different examples. His character, he actually was doing pretty well with the role playing for certain parts, but he was having difficulty with this part. He had gotten attached to a specific rock. Literally, it was just his pet rock. And so we suggested that he pick up the rock and throw it as part of the spell. And that was his spell. He threw the rock. Go get it, boy! And the spell arced off from the rock and hit the thing, and it did no damage because the thing was too high level. However,
He roleplayed, so he kind of won.
exactly, and it was excellent.
I feel like if you're playing a bard, you actually have a fairly easy time with the roleplay aspect because all of your
I hit
spells...
a note. I hit the brown note. The monster shits himself. I'm a bard.
Well, it's
think it
more like
depends.
they have like musical instruments, so they actually have a prop they can use.
Yeah.
But
My first character was a bard, so that was my experience.
I love flavoring warlock spells. Like summon swarm, just vomiting out the swarm is the best thing.
Vomit
So-
is fun in general.
Yeah?
Wait, was that weird? That was a little weird. Okay.
Little
it depends
weird,
on where
Joe,
you're
but
putting the vomit.
So
out of context, Joe.
Another
What do you
thing.
think?
So
I'm
no,
gonna put that.
no.
I'm gonna put that as player responsibility. Getting into role playing is
At least try.
Yeah, try getting
Literally
into
just try.
actual role playing,
Well-
not just I'm rolling dice and hitting my mechanics right.
And actually, I'd say yes to that. I'd kind of, to branch it off a little bit, is another player responsibility is find out what your players and your DM in game kind of enjoy. There's plenty of people that enjoy massive combat, number crunching, and you go in, you kick the door down, loot the treasure, and leave. And if everyone enjoys that, fantastic.
Then
I
play
think-
Descent because you're playing a role play game.
Well,
Joe.
not
If
just
people
that.
enjoy it, and
There's a
everyone's enjoying
certain
it the
level-
same, it's fine.
Well, that's
Yeah.
like 3.5. You DM'd. Well, Galen, you DM'd a game where you had a lot of very crunchy people.
Yeah, but we
been in a
branched
game
off
like that,
a bit,
yeah.
and it's yeah.
I think it really depends on the group because you gotta recognize the dynamic of your groups. If your group really enjoys that number crunching, then yeah, you're gonna have some number crunching to learn to enjoy it. If you have a group that is trying to get more in the role playing, get into some role playing because the group is gonna enjoy it. You gotta understand that like it's a cooperative effort. If the group is trying to do a thing, kind of gotta work with them to some
Groups
degree.
turning on each other is really annoying to deal with.
Hmm.
Nope, I think it's
Interesting.
hilarious and fun.
Well,
It depends
hold
on how
here.
it happens.
I'm
it's in
playing
character,
a
it's
lawful
funny.
good paladin, let's say, hypothetically. And Liz, you were playing a chaotic, evil gnome warlock.
Sweet.
Sweet. I smite you because you're evil. I know this. I am being responsible, true to my character, by smiting. Now,
Well-
we are going to take up 2 hours of the game session dealing with this incident.
Well, the kind of like the dude who's been heading all this just fucking smote me, so I'm just gonna leave the party and not come back because fuck that.
That's fine by me. Hey, GM Galen, does this suck for you?
It sucks massively because now I have to spend an extra hour re-rolling a character for you because you couldn't get along with the paladin.
Also, the paladin was a cunt, and I'm over here sitting there on my phone.
Yeah,
because,
and I have to deal with that, but I can't actually deal with it because we play at his house and he buys us beer.
And to
So,
be fair,
you're the problem, not him.
That's probably it.
my paladin was a patron of the god of thunder cunt, so that makes sense.
Oh yeah, that would make a lot of sense.
man.
Yeah.
So what I'm getting at here is maybe part of player responsibility is to find a way to work together,
So,
come as a group cohesively.
This is what good metagaming is. There is such a thing as good metagaming, which is you as a player have to figure out how to get your character to stay with the group.
And it's definitely a very important skill, regardless of like what kind of group you're playing with. If you have one player that's just like, oh, I'm here because I'm friends with you guys, but my character has no actual reason to be a part of this mission.
Neutral characters are the worst about this.
Not
Yeah.
necessarily. I played a lot of neutral characters that had no fucking problem.
Neutral characters are
going
the
to
best
group.
about this,
Are they?
typically, because they can just like, yeah, fuck, whatever. I'm going on the benches, sweet.
I guess if you're
It
somebody
depends entirely on the
For a
player.
neutral character to get their ass off the couch, they have to have a reason from the start to get off the couch at all.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they're not going to be there unless they have a reason.
But
Yeah.
any
So
any
that reason
alignment
runs
can
out, that's
really
what I
do
kinda
that.
mean.
As long
I'm
as
just like-
the alignment or the character, like you as a evil warlock and him as a righteous paladin,
Maybe
the
we have
goal
reasons to
itself,
work together because
he-
we're going against an evil demon lord who stole your soul. You want your soul back,
Yeah.
and I want to smite him because he's righteous. Now we have reason to work together.
Now
There
we
we
have
go.
a reason to work.
So we don't have to like each other. We just have to stay in the party.
And you know what?
Yeah.
That's actually fun RP to do that.
Yes, it is.
It is.
It is. It makes good times because that trust is gonna go with you that whole campaign. That untrust.
And then
Distrust.
eventually, when
Oh, man.
when I smite
That little
Liz and
trust.
her whorish ways as a warlock, that'll be in story and it'll be fun then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because there would be mini sessions in where the characters have developed like this hatred towards each other.
Be a dramatic build up to it.
Exactly.
Yes.
Then you're gonna love when the fight happens.
PvP. PvP.
So, I have another rule that players should start doing because I just had to deal with it talking to them online, and it's the player should know the mechanics of what you're playing. If you're gonna be a bard, you're gonna have to know your spells.
At least be
If you're-
willing to learn.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
That, okay,
yeah.
that's... Yeah.
Well, the DM can't hold everyone's hand. And some DMs can't. Like, they physically can't. They can't think
I
of
only
it.
have two hands, Galen. When I'm holding both of yours, I don't have any hands to hold anybody else.
He's holding his stick. It's not
Exactly.
hands that he's holding. It's not hands that he's holding at all.
Okay.
It's not my fault that he has a glove over his dick.
Yeah, see?
I get confused.
Popcorn trick, man. You gotta look out for it.
So, that's going to be another rule. Just know what your character does. Read up on the mechanics that you do. Don't have to worry about other people. And I know I break this all the time because
Everybody
I
breaks
suck
these
at
rules to
reading.
some degree.
No.
Oh, yeah.
I suck at reading, and Ezra had to correct me last week because of something I read wrong.
Which happens, and that's actually another thing that players will have to get used to eventually is being proven wrong.
Yes.
Because
Even-
misreads happen all the time.
Even if you're not wrong, like, it's the DM's choice. He can just change the freaking rules.
Yeah, it's always up to the DM. But make it easy on your DM. Learn your character.
I agree, yes. I don't know why
Okay.
everyone's looking at me, but yes.
You're the one in the DM chair right now, so...
Only because it's the most comfy chair.
He's at
So-
the head of the table. He just looks really official.
Okay, about that. What about people bringing in just the most shittily optimized characters possible? We had somebody show up at our game.
At Min-Maxer?
If
Not
they
a
role play it
min-maxer,
well,
like,
it's hilarious.
the opposite.
The opposite. Like, we had somebody show up at the game.
A min-maxer.
They
A
had a
Min-Maxer.
barbarian gnome who used a whip.
That's fantastic. How is that bad?
You gotta role play it right.
They were so useless, and they weren't.
What was his
Like,
strength?
did it-
What was his strength? What's his constitution?
It wasn't great. It was like completely even stats all across the board. Like, it was a new player.
Odd.
I feel like you should just give the new players help on making
See-
something not that.
I love playing suboptimal characters in somewhere where they have some glaring flaw on one of the stats.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, wait, hold on. A dex check? I'll do it. No, Joe. Why? I got this. I fail. Whoops. Now we have to deal with something else. You're welcome.
Oh man. Our last we had a campaign recently where Joe played a character who just kind of was very kind of naive of what was happening around him. So his butler type character was just murdering everybody across the board. And Joe and the rest of us over time, we were the most threatening people we could have conceivably been, completely in the most well-meaning way possible.
It
That
was
turned
so
into
great.
an evil campaign so
Immediately.
fucking quick.
One session, we destroyed it. We destroyed everything.
I started like shooting women and children in the street because a mob was after us. And I have Dirty Fighter, so if you just start killing the weak, they start to like, that's just a tactic. So I just started shooting kids. Like,
And that
We
was
killed
actually
the only good character.
that was so little backstory. We're playing a Deadlands campaign.
Oh, man.
So cowboys and Indians and ghouls and ghosts.
Yep.
But it was actually very fun to play this inept
It was.
person that just did not pick up on anything. So the butler in the background is doing all those mischievous things.
which is
I
Ezra,
was
by
there
the way.
to be
Murdering everybody.
helpful. So there's this one scene where it boils down to a Cool Hand Luke thing. Scene where my character has gained control of the town, and I clearly say we have a failure to communicate because I have great intentions, as there are dead bodies in the background from some reason or another. I forget which. I wasn't privy to it, but
I may or may not have shot a priest.
no.
We broke into the church and she shot the priest.
Came
Meanwhile,
out with a gun.
I was playing. All right. I don't know if
I-
you've listened to the Fiasco podcast. We did the thing. I was playing that same character. I was except a few years down the line, I had become a mountain lady. I was the voice of reason, the crazy former incestuous burglar or wagon raider, whatever the fuck. I was the least crazy as I was talking to my dead brother, who's dry humping me in the background as a demon.
And hey, speaking of which, if you haven't listened to the Honor Gaming Fiasco podcast, please do. It is fantastic, especially for all the incestuous jokes and the awkwardness. This one here, Ellie, Shellenor Online, gives one of the other players.
I killed a
Cobalt.
fetish for 3 weeks.
You
Cobalt.
did.
Only for 3 weeks. I tried so hard.
Yeah.
But in the end, it
So-
didn't even matter.
So
And this is why we play role-playing games. Because
To kill our friends' fetishes and hopes and dreams, yes.
Yes.
that too.
It never lasts,
Mostly
man.
for
It never
stories,
lasts.
but that too.
yeah. You got any other rules, Ellie?
Oh,
Player responsibilities.
Or Corey, or Liz, or
Or
Galen.
anybody?
Or
I
somebody.
was just looking at.
I
Ellie.
was
She-
complaining a bunch last week, and I forgot all the shit I was complaining about because I got it all out. Like, it wasn't really a complaint thing. It was just, I don't know how to make this better. How do I teach these kids? They're not kids. They're my age. I was just
They're
being a
kids.
cunt.
The kids.
I was being a dick. That was all. That was all.
Okay, so another kind of thing
I've
of-
been spoiled at this point.
Yeah.
We have a relatively experienced group. So going to a newer group is there's a certain level of shock of just a lot of people aren't paying attention. It's hard to just get everybody focused on the same thing, and it's hard to move the party forward because everybody's stealing rugs and doing other stuff. The rug stealing actually isn't a problem. I actually thought that was all right. But it's hard to get everybody moving in the same direction because everybody's kind of trying to still figure out how to even role play, let alone to role play together. And it's a lot of kind of herding cats because you got to try to convince a person that yes, your character has a reason to fight with the group because otherwise why are you here? And yes, you should pay attention because otherwise why are you playing? And yes, you should show up because otherwise why are you playing?
That's a good one. I want to
up.
go. That is the best that you can do as a player. Commit. Show up once a week, once a month, whenever you and the other party members say when to show up. Actually showing up.
And
trying to like get out of work or something like this is the weekend day that I want to play. It's your responsibility. You made a commitment with your friends to do this once a week.
I will add the
Please do so.
caveat, life happens. If
However-
grandma's dying in the hospital,
It's okay.
yeah, don't roleplay. Grandma's gonna miss you. Well, no, she won't miss you. She'll be dead. You'll miss grandma more than you'll miss the roleplay session.
Yeah.
And
Exactly. But that's life
Most
happens
of the
in that
time.
way.
Yeah, unless grandma's a cunt.
life happens, but you can plan most things around your
You can
D&D.
plan most things around life. You don't know when grandma's gonna die, and when that happens, everyone's gonna understand. But you having to, I don't know, go out and shop for lamps, you
Don't
can
be
do
a
that
dick.
on another day. You
Don't
can
be
do
a
that
dick.
another day.
One fucking time, man. The one fucking time I shopped for lamps. You get all butthurt about it.
Oh man.
Well, it also just kind of, and most of these can just boil down to communicate with your group. A lo-
Make sure you have everybody's phone numbers because otherwise it's just kind of a hassle.
or at least Facebook or
Yeah,
something.
Facebook group or something.
With social media these days, because we have somebody who doesn't have a phone.
We
So-
also have someone who doesn't have a Facebook, which is so fucking hard to get a hold of him.
He has a phone though. So
I have a phone and Facebook sucks.
Our
Fuck
group is
you
not
all.
very good at Facebook, honestly. Like, I don't
No, we're
think
not
any of
good
us
at Facebook
spend
at
that
all.
much time at Facebook.
But if you do have a group
Yeah.
that where people do spend more time on Facebook, or they just live in an area where it's easier to get a hold of them with Facebook, like figure out some kind of communication method so that you can all be on the same page and you're not waiting for 2
Yeah.
hours wondering, it's like, where the fuck is Johnny?
Yeah.
Johnny is me. Sorry, guys.
Johnny is you and Ezra.
I was sick a lot, and I showed up anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Also,
heard you passed out a lot.
I did.
player responsibility. If you're sick and you have to wear a doctor's mask, you can skip the session. It's fine.
Last week, I literally fell asleep at the table. I was not. I was sitting in a chair, leaned back. I don't know how I didn't fall over.
That doctor.
I expected
Dr.
the
Mask
exact same
Joe?
thing tonight or tomorrow night.
That Dr.
now.
Mask
Yeah.
Joe was for me. I gave that to him because I did not want to miss a fucking session.
Yeah. I
I was so
wore the
tired
doctor's
having her
mask.
just be heel bitch in the background. I wanted her to play.
Yeah, I wanted to play, and I think I was too out of it. And I think was that a session where I fell asleep on the floor?
No.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, there was one that she fell asleep on.
There was another one, which was previous week.
My health has not been good lately.
Okay, that was being sick. How about getting just a little too drunk?
Hangovers? Or just being...
Are we talking about
Usually I'm
Ellie
drunk
At
again?
the table.
Usually
Have you
I'm
never
drunk
had
at
that
the table.
happen?
That's how
No.
the Fiasco game went.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was and for
That was
some
a
games that's gonna be a
Everybody agrees on it,
blast.
that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, when
we're-
everybody
we're-
agrees on the drunkenness, then
But
it's
I
good.
will hit on something too because I've heard other people deal with this. You know, if you're into alcohols and drugs and that kind of stuff, and you're the only one, and the people that you're playing with aren't,
maybe just wait.
yeah, wait a little bit. You know, it's fine. If your whole group's into it, great. But you know,
What if you're into it,
Mm-hmm.
say with another person, but they don't care at all? Can you still do it with that other person? Because I like drinking, and I don't care if a kobold wanting not to drink, but I
you
want to
can,
drink.
but you can be in the game and participate.
That's
I've
true.
heard stories where people they can't.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
when
they
you
get
get
so
drunk and you
plowed
just
and
hammered.
blasted.
I've never
so-
had to deal with that or experienced it.
I've had
so.
it more. They get drunk and they just start making really out of character decisions that are bad decisions.
What if you're playing a drunken master?
That makes sense.
Yeah, but
Or a
the
boozy
gnome
bard.
tinkerer doesn't just get upset and attack the giant. Doesn't happen.
Unless he is Giant Slayer.
But he's a gnome tinkerer.
Maybe the giant is made
He's
out
a
of
magic
cogs,
person.
and he wants to harvest the cogs.
Then he's fucking blazed out of his mind thinking a giant's made out of cogs.
What if in character his character is also drunk?
That would make sense.
Okay, so that's
Okay.
actually another
What if his
thing.
character is Don Quixote and he's attacking a windmill?
Also, it would make sense.
What are we talking about?
we were
Not
talking...
no donkey.
We've gone off on topic a couple
Oh.
times.
But
Sorry,
That
guys.
actually does kind of come up of...
character
Occasionally people will want to play a drunk character.
Yeah.
Of just the town drunk. Usually a good way to play it is play Archer style, where you're mostly functioning but always drunk.
Jesus Christ, how did you do that? We tried so hard for like a while.
Sorry, we have balloons sitting at the table, and they were really hard to blow up. And Corey just picked one up and put
Like
some
a
air in
fucking
it.
champ.
Like
Yeah.
a fucking champ. It's called healthy lungs, Joe. It's what you get when you don't smoke.
I want a cigarette in the worst way. You have no idea.
I've wanted a cigarette for the past like week. I was so sick. I'm gonna take
Look
a
at him
cigarette.
go!
That's fine.
Wow,
I
you
think
made
I
it
have
to
one
the
we can
end.
share.
Jesus Christ, dude!
Okay. Oh!
Well, that has to stay in now.
all right. This is a little red.
And
he is
by the
red.
way,
You okay?
Holy crap.
That was like 3 lungfuls, I think. We're good.
Yeah.
that
Breathe.
was
You're
that was
good.
very
Dude.
impressive. And typically, as what happens, ladies and gentlemen, when you blow something too big, it blows back into your face.
I feel like that's a metaphor for life. Yeah.
That is, yes.
Ooh, more player responsibility. That actually brings something up. We've touched on it a couple of times in character creation, but don't overinflate your character with backstory, please.
But have a backstory.
Have a backstory.
Yes. Know what
That's
your
actually
character
nice.
stuff is.
I think that would be not so much responsibility, maybe etiquette. You don't want to
responsibility,
be
etiquette.
Yeah, I mean,
Kind of both.
you want enough backstory where you have reasons to go out on the venture.
I feel like you can have as
However-
much backstory as you want, just don't shove it in people's faces.
That's where I'm going to get
Yes,
at. Where it's not
yeah.
like, yes, I am Lord Calmandor III. I have survived many family onslaughts from my rival Germador IV, and this is my adventure where we are gaining back the throne for me.
Excuse
by my
me, I was
underlings.
just trying to buy groceries. Would you get out of my way? We are in
No,
line.
this is my
We are in
monologue,
line.
madam. You go back to your hick
I
peasantry.
do not care about your monologue. I am trying to buy milk
Guys,
for my
there's
cows.
the
My
peop-
cows are not producing milk, so I have to buy milk so that they can
That
drink
is
the
peasant
milk.
concerns. I care not for them.
You are blocking the cashier.
Okay.
That's
so,
my horse.
Stop it. Ellie and Joe does this all the fucking time, and oh god, it's so annoying.
Is it that annoying or is it very entertaining?
Oh man, a little of both, but I'm the one wearing the headphones, so I'm
are
hearing
we getting-
everything.
Are we getting too loud? What's
you like?
Oh man, that story just went way too far.
But point being, of like,
How far did it go? Not
it's
far enough.
it is more of just kind of make your character do have a backstory. It does flesh them out a lot better, and it's
Yeah.
easy. It actually makes them easier to roleplay for you. But at the same time, it actually gives the DM something to do with your character.
Yeah, I fought in a war between the elves and the dwarves.
Yep.
Which one? The last one. Go ahead, DM, make it up. Like, it's not
It's
that
more
hard.
like sometimes it would be fun if, like, say your character has history with an NPC. Then that NPC can now be the big bad evil guy at the end of the Star Wars campaign, Joe.
Yep, you're welcome.
That was a good one.
And actually, that reminds me, for player responsibility, dovetail your character to the setting to a certain extent. Originality is good and everything, but I remember one time played with one of my buddies, Dan, not the Dan that we know, a different Dan, and this was his first experience role-playing. This was maybe about 8 years ago.
Oh, speaking of Dans, don't kill off all the Dans. Don't kill off other people's characters just willy-nilly.
Oh my
They're part
God.
of your
That was
they're
an
part of your
accident.
group.
That-
Again.
We
It's
almost
so
killed him again.
sad.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's getting tired of re-rolling
Did
characters.
you guys talk to him? Okay, sorry. This is out of podcast talk.
So with that, Ezra was going to leave him behind to die.
I
And
was
it's-
too.
I know, and they were in their character thing. It's like, no.
If a character is dying, if a player character is dying, even if in character you don't necessarily have the most reason, give yourself a reason to help that person. Even if it's just a basic, I would rather not have to
We
deal
need
with the
him
corpse.
to live.
Most of the time, you can
You
just
know,
get by with
easy.
fuck yeah, they'll owe me now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We knew
That works.
we knew he had a wagon in order to not have to walk anywhere anymore. And we knew he had an ally who can get us out.
Find
So-
a way for it to be more convenient to save the person
Yeah.
than to deal with
But
them.
that was
being
going to be
dead.
one of those situations where there's going to be a lot of DM hand waving if save him, but my character wouldn't. Otherwise, he's going to come through the rubble and wreckage and survive. This is happening. We're not killing two of his characters in a row.
Oh man.
So that's actually a benefit of my character having a dang panic attack in the corner. It's like, make the other character stop and think for 2 seconds.
My character now just consistently has Revivify and Raise Dead just on hand.
So what
by
are we
the way.
talking about? You had a player responsibility.
Oh, that's right.
Dan.
That's
Dan.
okay, yes.
A different Dan.
A different Dan. So back to a different Dan. It was his first time role playing, and he's like, "Oh, well, it's fantasy. Can be whatever you want." So we're playing D&D, Tolkien-esque fantasy thing.
Uh-oh.
His character is a time traveling vampire cowboy.
Okay.
Yeah, I shit you not.
You could make it work. You can make it work.
You could if that's the kind of game that you wanted to, but these are a bunch of Lord of the Rings fans. It's like, well, if I am a ranger from the north, why is your time traveling cowboy sitting next to me? That's immersive breaking. So you want to build your characters in the world. So
At the very least, talk to the other players before you do that, because you can do that and have it be successful and fun.
As long as they know what the hell you're doing.
Yeah, as long as everybody's relatively on board with it.
Yeah.
and that's true. If everyone's fun with it, fuck, it's fun. But
Yeah.
But just be aware that you might be stepping on toes, so talk to people first so that, they know.
Oh, so actually one thing, I was reading the 4th edition player strategy guide.
Yep.
If you're still unsure on like what exactly you can do, what you can actually bring to the game, if you're still kind of new to things, but you don't want to just be the kind of kid in the corner, you don't want baby to put the baby themselves in the corner. So
because nobody puts baby in the corner.
not even baby.
Mm-hmm.
But point being, read a player strategy guide or at least flip through it. It actually has some pretty decent advice in there.
Or
There's
just look
also-
online.
There
Or
are
on
a
the
lot of
internet.
guides. There's a
Yeah,
lot of
Look up
guides.
the handbooks. Look up the whatever you are handbook online. Take from it what you will.
There's plenty of guides on role playing in itself, of designing your character, of giving it some flaws so you're not a Mary Sue. Just things to make it so that you have some depth to your characters. That when you're playing, it's not just,
My flaw is that I'm a Mary Sue, and everyone hates me for it, and I love it.
That's only
That's
your personal
different
flaw,
because
Gil.
the
Totally different. We accept that for you as a human being.
we accept that everybody hates you.
Okay.
That's
Everyone
why
online,
Mary.
too.
That's why Mary microwaved your hamsters,
Yep.
because they hated you. She was trying to protect you from the hamsters.
Mm-hmm.
That
The
was your
hamsters
sister's
were going to
love.
chew out your eyelids.
Yeah.
And she saved you. You know why? Because Mary's the only one that really cares.
I don't know what's going on here, but I feel like I should call the SPCA.
That might be a
No,
good
the
idea.
hamsters are already dead. There's
They're
no point.
very, very
Oh,
dead.
okay.
They're-
Well,
Long dead.
maybe food and health safety.
Only if...
That
microwave
microphone
is-
is
Yeah.
the microwave is now gone.
yeah,
as
that
well.
microwave's broken. Yeah.
Okay, then we're
So
good.
really, it's all covered. Just this is now a funny story.
Just protect the hamsters, and
I
they're
feel like
good.
20 years I'd do a past for this, but all right.
Yeah. And it did.
10?
20 years.
20?
It actually
10
it
10
Has
years?
it been 20? Okay, I was thinking it was like 15.
No, it's been coming up on 10. Yeah.
The more time,
Did it
the
when I was
better.
young.
I feel like 10 is not enough times. That she still would have
That's
been
a
like
story.
14.
Well,
This
I mean,
is
it
a
was
story
multiple
for another
hamsters
time,
too.
so
So, like
let's,
maybe 10 years per hamster.
No,
Only
no,
one of
no.
the hamsters is fine.
Let's end it. Let's go to another thing besides a bad hamster.
Galen
story.
is getting PTSD over the hamsters, guys. That's what it is.
Galen's railroading this conversation.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Ooh.
back on topic, Miss ADD.
You're the one that I wasn't diagnosed with ADD. I was diagnosed with other shit. Yeah. Take that.
That's fine.
Take that.
Man, I opened up a can of worms and
Yes.
it did not take me to a comfortable
And
place.
on this Time of Honor Gaming podcast, Ellie's personal problems. Ellie, how are you feeling?
And now it gets personal.
I
That's
was
gonna be the
diagnosed
name,
as that
and
chick
now
that
it
once.
gets personal.
But yeah, for player responsibilities, it's honestly, it's not that much. It,
Yeah. Just be willing to work with the group and be willing to play your part.
and pay attention.
It's
Yeah.
not hard being a player. It's just sometimes those players don't know the rules of being a player, which is very easy to follow.
Well, and yeah, it's just like people, like we said at the beginning of the podcast, don't really know they have responsibilities. And it's not even responsibilities so much as it's really fucking nice if you do this as an etiquette. Please,
Yeah.
please do.
You'll have a better time if you follow this particular bit of etiquette. That's all.
And we didn't even touch on everything, but
Yeah.
We got sidetracked. A lot.
That's okay. Just
No regrets.
as a capstone, as in life, if you're hanging with your friends and you do something that makes you seem like a dick, you're probably being a dick.
yeah.
Don't be a dick.
If somebody says you're being a dick, you're probably being a dick.
The more you know.
Ellie's a dick.
I got nothing else.
Got nothing else?
I know there's really not that much. This is a
No.
surprisingly well wrapping up podcast.
Yeah, it's literally just pay attention and show up for the most part.
And have fun.
Don't make a mess with the snacks.
Don't make a mess with snacks.
Don't put Cheetos on other people's books.
Don't put them on character sheets or the DM notes.
Don't constantly get
If
up
you're
to
eating
get
Cheetos,
food.
use chopsticks.
There you
That's
go.
probably for
If
the
you have
best.
Chinese food, don't spill sweet and sour sauce on literally everything,
Yeah.
which I did do on Sunday.
Alternatively, if you are eating Cheetos, rub your Cheeto fingers over everything.
Specifically the GM's face.
Yes. Or
You'll-
breasts if the GM has breasts.
You'll get extra
Preferably if
XP.
they're male breasts.
You'll get more experience
Ellie and
points.
Joe are doing it again.
What?
Ellie and Joe are doing it
Doing
again.
what?
Oh.
Understand.
We're ruining Galen's dreams.
I feel like your podcast wouldn't be long enough without it, though.
I know. I'm sorry, Galen. Is Manny Cheeto boobs too much for you? Is that what it is?
No, it's just you guys and your overblowing away one story of a Cheeto. Okay, that's just so much. So
Meanwhile, outside of the podcast, he goes on and on and on about how he loves it. He loves it. He loves it.
I do, but I have time outside of podcast. I have
Don't
a
you
limited 1 hour.
And
in
don't you think that people
podcast.
listen to
How much did we get
podcasts would
through, like
enjoy our
40
wiki
minutes?
better? Yeah. We're probably like at 10 minutes. That's all it's been. Maybe 15?
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
No,
less,
it's
like
all
that.
good.
It's but you're
So-
right. It's probably 5 minutes, but time does fly when you're
They're
having
doing
fun.
it again. They're
What,
doing
are
it
we?
again. Oh my
No,
god.
I don't think we are.
You
My-
started this, Galen. You always
my-
start this.
But I don't expect you guys to just go.
And that is your own fault, Galen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Why
really,
totally is.
I can't see not expecting this.
Why would you not have learned this
Yeah.
lesson by now?
I've been here for one of these, and I'm already expecting it.
So, just to wrap up, rules: know the mechanics of your character. Make it easy for your DM. Don't get food everywhere.
Work with the
Have
group.
a small
Work with the
backstory.
group.
Work with the group.
Be,
basic
Be
stuff.
present. Be present for what's happening.
Commit to the weekly ordeal,
And-
unless you have something truly going on, like a doctor's appointment you can't miss.
And pay attention while you're there.
And yeah, and want to be there is the main thing.
And that's the big number one.
We actually
Want
missed
to actually
something
be
like
there.
fairly big that happens a lot.
What is it?
Not stealing the spotlight.
Well, I was going over that
Sorry.
with
A little
the
bit.
DM thing. Or
And then
with-
there's also like have your action ready when it's your turn.
Yeah.
Like know what
Yeah.
you're gonna do.
You're not the hero. You're a group of heroes.
that's what I was going
It's
on
for
with the
everyone.
monologue thing. Yeah, that's you share the spotlight.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah,
if you're a group of heroes, sometimes you're also just a group of assholes, too.
Yeah, and share the spotlight with your fellow assholes. You could all be
You're
assholes
all
together.
assholes here.
You could just be lined up for a great big glory shot. It'd be
Yep.
fine. Everyone gets a pool.
Goatsy.
Look at
Oh,
Joe's
God.
defeated face. Okay, well, that's another episode of Honor and Gaming Podcast. Hope to see you next time.
I hate my
Bye.
What are we doing
life.
next time? What are we doing next time? Do you know what we're doing next time?
World creation.
World creation?
collaboratively.
We're going to be doing world creation next time, now that everyone said that. So, everyone say your goodbyes.
Bye.
Bye. I'm
Have
gonna
a
eat some
good
ice
one,
cream.
guys.